And welcome back to another edition of Classic Doom Walkthroughs. Today we are continuing along with the official Doom log, the Trooper's Playground. This is map 4, Going Down. I like this map. I like the counterintuitive nature of it in certain spots where you feel that there are certain areas you need to explore, but you just can't figure out how to get to them. Yeah, you have to continue with map progression, make your way back. It's just a little bit of a twist. I do like that. The game is powered by GZDoom using the Doom 2 Unity port. As always, we're playing on the ultra-violence difficulty setting in order to get 100% in all three of these categories. There are 114 kills to be had, 2 secrets, and 11 items. So why don't we go ahead, start off with our trusty pistol, and let's get the party started with some imps and some shotgunners in the background. Perhaps the shotgunners will do some damage for us, perhaps we will do some damage ourselves. Okay, looks like we've cleared the room. There's shotgun ammo there in that corner that we just crossed. There's a 4-pack plus these 2 shotguns also, so make sure you pick them all up. It's not a ton of ammo in this map. In fact, conserve your chain gun ammo mostly for the pinkies and specters that are going to come at you in waves, and the regular shotgun's just not going to cut it. So beyond this window, we have some imps and a chain gunner in the distance. I try to get the chain gunner right away, and if not, then maybe the shotgunner if he reveals himself, which he did. That's not too bad. So there's no way to get out, of course. We take our trusty pistol again, shoot the switch, and that reveals this switch. But not so fast. There is another shotgunner on the corner here. Let's dispose of him before we go any further. There are 2 chain gunners and a shotgunner in here. We need to be careful. Well, I guess they need to be careful of each other. That really shortened the work needed. Go ahead and press that switch. And now we have the chain gun. If you didn't fare as well, there's a couple of health packs here. Go ahead and help yourself. Also some shotgun shells. There will be some enemies outside. Primarily, the first thing to deal with is the Revenant. So let's go ahead with the regular shotgun. That's if I can get a beat on the Revenant here. I use this door opening as a whole point. There's absolutely no reason in my view to go in any further and dance around from the Revenant's rockets. I just don't see any reason to do that. So over to the left now, there are some imps. Fairly straightforward. Now, if you look down, there are, I don't know if you can see them. I don't use free looks. It's hard to tell, but you can see there's a bunch of imps and specters, and there's also a hole in the platform beneath us. The blue key's in that hole, but if you go in it now without hitting the proper sequence of switches, you're stuck in there, and it's a damaging floor. So don't fall in there. However, we don't really have a ton of ammo, so what we're going to do is we're going to fall down to the first level and use our shotgun ammo, ideally, to take care of all of these enemies down there. If you're going to go this way, make sure you skip over that hole in the sense of you don't want to fall into it, like I mentioned. I think I got both. Indeed. Now take out the chain gun because we're going to face another wave of pinkies and specters. And there's just too many of them, to be honest. But the regular shotgun is just not going to do. So if you want to switch over now, that's fine. But basically, it's a chain gun area to begin with. This will lower these 2 lifts, but the one on the right is the one you want to take because we're going to push ourselves forward as it goes up. Yeah, there's a switch here. Now, as soon as we press the switch, it's going to release 3 chain gunners. Get ready for the one on your right. Oof. Yeah, he's usually not that close. What are you going to do? And the other 2 are on the other side. Oop. I did not want to fall off. That was not at all ideal, but it's okay. Pick up the ammo and the health pack here and use this ramp, or you can use the other one if you want, to kind of launch yourself over to get the blue key now that it's out of the damaging floor area. You don't want to fall in there. So we'll repeat the process. This time we'll just allow ourselves to be taken up to the top level. And now armed with the blue key, we're ready to go. And we'll take care of his Laban. Now, there is an imp that's just going to keep coming for us, so we might as well. Now, this is the most dangerous area I find of the map. There's a lot of gunners out in the open here. And it's just hard to not take a lot of damage if you're not too careful. So let's go ahead, take care of them from here. I'm pretty sure there's another chain gunner or a shotgunner in there. There he is. Now, be careful. Around the corner here of these bars is another shotgunner. Yeah, let's get the jump on that shotgunner so we don't have to deal with them later. More enemies are going to teleport in here later, but not this minute, so that's okay. Now, facing us will be a bunch of shotgunners on the left wall. That will be our first order of business, and then an arachnotron. The arachnotron can actually hit us from the first couple of stairs, but not as we're a little bit higher, because it'll just be outside of its vantage point. So go ahead and try to pick off those shotgunners. Keeping in mind there's also imps on the other side. You want to dodge their fireballs. I think there's one more shotgunner. No? We can probably take care of the imps now that we're out of the range of the arachnotron. Find yourself a comfortable spot, as long as you don't get picked off, and take care of the arachnotron with your regular shotgun. I think that's sufficient. With the shotgunners and the imps, well, now the imp's done, I guess. Little bugger was sneaking around there. Grab, of course, some shells. Now, you think at this point, like we've seen before, that you can do some natural map progression. There's a switch in here somewhere and I can get up there. No, we're going to have to continue on with the map before we can get back up there, including there's a secret between these two areas. There's a supercharge. And I'll show you that when the time comes to get there. So we have some gunners in this room. Shotgunner and a chain gunner in the distance beyond the zombie man. And to our right, above, there is another chain gunner. So just don't run all half-cocked into this room. You're likely to be cut to pieces. So just take your time with it. If you notice, I don't use a ton of chain gun ammo on the gunner enemies, although you can. I save it, the chain gun ammo for the pinkies and the specters. As you saw in that pit, you need a lot of chain gun ammo. So I save it for that, but it's up to you. So let's go ahead. There's a imp in there somewhere too. There it is. So let's get the party started with both of our Doom friends. And that's that. So that door opened up, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead now. I'll just show you. We don't shoot this switch. You're just going to waste ammo. We have to do more. Yes, you guessed it. Map progression in order to get to that switch. So be mindful. There are some zombie men in here. 4 or 5, plus another shotgunner, who is walking around somewhere. Or did I get him? Okay, well, maybe I did get him. So that takes care of that. There are more zombie men and shotgunners in this room. Just be mindful. Now, as soon as you press that switch or stand on that platform, I'm not sure which, it could be both, this wall will fall, revealing 4 chain gunners. So let's get our chain gun, but we're going to beat a hasty retreat out of this room. Yeah, we don't want to take any chain gun fire. They seem to be stuck on that side of the pillar. If you see the set of pillars over there, they don't go beyond it. So I find this to be a much better vantage point, a much better hold point to take care of all 4 of those chain gunners. See? And we did press the switch, so we're okay. If we didn't fare as well, there's a couple health packs here. The health is reasonably generous. Of course, we will pick up the chain gun ammo. And now we can head back to where the chain gunner was, having pressed the switch, and now this switch is available, and we can continue this way. Couple of imps. Okay, so we're going to press this switch, and that's going to activate some more movement. As you see here now, we have to do all those steps just to get back up to here. This is what I meant. I like it. It's counterintuitive. It's not terribly obvious. This is the way to go. The first thing we're going to do before hitting that switch, because once we hit the switch, that pillar or that box, I guess, will lower and a mancubus will be available. Yeah, why don't we just grab the secret? It's always nice to have a supercharge. Let's go ahead. Yes, press that switch. Some mancubus. Might as well get in some cheap shots. I use this pillar as a hold point. Completely safe, I guess, unless you duck your face out too far. And that's that. So long to our mancubus friend. Pick up the yellow key, and if you recall where we were on this side, just be careful, don't run out. I almost didn't take my own advice. I believe some more enemies have teleported in. Yes, chain gunner for sure. Nope. Yeah. Dangerous area. There they are. All right. Took a little bit of damage there. Like I said, it's the most dangerous area I find of the map. It's just hard. I guess if you use free look, it might be a little bit easier. I don't use free look. I stubbornly stick with that. If you use free look, I guess it would be easier to spot those enemies, but I do find that's an area to keep an eye out for. Some shotgunners and an imp in the lower area, but there are chain gunners in the upper area, so be mindful of that. on both sides, as you can see. There's another shotgunner down here, and there are some more chain gunners. Perhaps it's chain gun time. I don't seem to be getting the good range that I wanted with the shotgun. Yeah, there's quite a few, so just make sure everybody's gone before you poke around too much. So if you're looking around, well, I guess we can take care of these two imps, but if you're looking around, like, how do we get up there? Maybe it's the switch, or how do we get this red key? It's not the switch. This switch will simply lower this area directly behind this pillar. We'll take care of the imp, then we'll go collect the weapons from the chain gunner. And there's also some shotgun shells. Yeah, we're going to have to do quite a bit of map progression in order to get that red key. So I think that's pretty neat. Now, to the left is the red door. We don't have the red key. And to the right are a whole bunch of enemies. Shotgunners, and there's a Kako and some imps. But quite a few shotgunners to be mindful of. Now, if we can avoid the gaze of the Kako demon for a moment, just so we can kind of long distance take care of those imps. You saw the Kako on the right of the screen. I just like to get rid of the imps first, mostly because they're a nuisance. There we go. Now we can take care of the other gunners and the Kako. As you can see, we don't ever enter the room really until the enemies are cleared for the most part. There will be another shotgunner above. If you can see him there, his kind of bald head is sticking out. Yeah, you can just take a cheap shot, take care of him that way. We press this button, this will get the stairs up. Remember, we still haven't gotten that red key. We're still progressing. But we're not going to take these stairs quite yet. There are 3 lost souls, which are a major nuisance when you get to this area soon. I like to just pick them off from here. They can come over the ledge and take a bite off your nose, I suppose. So just be mindful of that. Do a little peekaboo shooting. Yes, some health bonuses. They count towards our 100%. So let's go ahead and greedily gather those up. Yeah, some teleporting in. It's just going to be, for now, the Revenant on top of that pillar. Yes, Stoffel guy is there too. We won't see him quite immediately. Right now, it's just the Revenant. And this is a good vantage point and a good hold point, just to dispose of the Revenant with a regular shotgun, in my view. Now, this is an area where there's a whole bunch of pinkies and specters. This is one of the areas I saved the chain gun for. And there's more chain gun ammo anyway. Use this top stair or second to top stair as a hold point. I use pretty well fully automatic. Really not a good area for the regular shotgun. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. And I do save the chain gun ammo for areas like that. Hit the switch. This will allow us to get up this way. Grab the rockets. Don't think we get a rocket launcher officially in this map, but that's okay. Now you can hear the groaning. We hit the switch. Now I have to hope that all of the enemies have teleported out. We'll come back here soon just to be sure. First we'll get rid of Stoffel guy. He's on the pillar now. There we go. And we'll check after just to make sure. Sometimes I have to go back to that area just to get the other enemies to teleport. I guess we'll find out soon enough. So, yes, we have to go back to the area. If you remember, we never got the red key, but that sequence of events and hitting that switch releases the red key. And of course, grabbing the red key releases these 2 enemies. I probably should have mentioned it before. I just ran away from it. Take cover. I prefer to take cover because they're both firing at you at the same time. And with that, you grab some ammo and some health if you need it. And now we're ready to proceed to the main melee area, but we've disposed of pretty well most of, but not all, the enemies. There are more gunners here. So I think they all teleported in, but I will check at the end. Now this door, you can't get in. There's no switch for it until almost at the very, very end. So I'll show you that. Why don't we go ahead first and take on these 2 Kakos. Always try to line them up, of course. Minimize the fire coming your way. And there's an imp to the left. But as soon as you head towards the exit, it will release a Kako, a Baron, and some other enemies like an imp and so on. A couple of imps, I guess. So, do they fight? We hope so, especially for the Baron. I guess the Baron didn't see us initially. I did want the Baron and the Kako to fight a little bit. Doesn't sound like they're going to. Alright, well, it looks like it's just us versus the Baron. Good thing there's a lot of shotgun shells lying around behind me. We're going to need a little bit more ammo than I had anticipated. Come on, Baron. Here, you've had enough now. Go ahead and grab all of this. By the way, up here there is a box. I think it looks like I already picked it up. There was a box of chain gun ammo in case you still need. So why don't we go ahead now? We're not going to take the exit because that would suck. We're not finished. We still have... Okay, good. All the enemies did teleporting because there's 2 imps waiting in that little room. But we're going to go this way. Just pass through the wall, get ready to fire because this teleporter takes us to that little area where there's 2 imps and a backpack. Yeah, it's sometimes unavoidable to take a little bit of damage. Yeah, secrets revealed, grab the backpack. At the end, I'm not sure how valuable that is, but it's always nice to get it. And it seems to be that all of the other enemies have teleported. Let's do a final count just in case. Yes, all 114 kills, both secrets, and all 11 items. You know what that means? Indeed. We're done. And that's map 4 going down from the Trooper's Playground. Like I said, I like it. I like the counterintuitive nature of the map, that you have to do quite a bit in some instances of map progression before you could access the area that you want, or access the key, or access the... You know what I mean? So, I mean, I do kind of like that. It's not the way you normally would expect it to go, so I do like a little bit of a twist. And the enemy placement's always good. I find that very much so on this one. Anyway, if you did enjoy the walkthrough, maybe you got some good tips or tricks, yeah, hit that subscribe button. You won't miss any further videos that I upload. For now, that's it for Classic Doom Walkthroughs. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.